Hi, Grandma Debbie here. So tonight for dinner, we're making cheesesteak casserole. I've never made this before, but it sounded delicious to me. And so I thought, you know what, let's give it a try. And I would bring you guys all along to try it with me. So I am cutting the recipe in half. So because it's only the two of us and we don't need a lot of leftovers. So the recipe is going to be cut in half, but let's get going on this. Okay. All right, let's go. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to chop up a bell pepper. Do you guys hear my dog outside barking? He's just going crazy. Now, I would normally cut up an onion as well, but I don't have an onion, and we had already chopped up onions that we put into our freezer, and so I'm just going to use that. And so I took it out of the freezer, I've thawed them out, and then when we're ready to saute, I will saute them with the bell peppers. So my dog has some barking buddies, or that's what I call them, that he goes outside and they bark together, and then he comes in all happy and satisfied. I don't know what he's saying to him, but I'd be curious. But it's cute. Okay, so we got this done. And now we're going to head over to the other side of the kitchen, and we're going to get going on cooking the hamburger, because we are using hamburger for this. I don't know if I said that or not, but we're using hamburger. Okay, so we're going to get the hamburger going. So we're going to turn on our pan. Ooh. I let that go a little too long before it lit. All right, so we're going to get our hamburger in there. And like I said, I'm cutting this recipe in half. It usually calls for 1.5 pounds of hamburger, and I'm using just 3/4 of a pound. And I'm also going to start my water for my noodles. Okay, and in my hamburger, I'm going to add in 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. And 1/2 teaspoon of Italian seasoning. All right, so let's get going on this. All right, so we're just going to let this cook. Okay, so the meat is cooked all the way through, so I'm going to turn this off real quick. And I'm going to put this in a bowl. And I'm just going to dump it in here into the bowl. And then it's going to sit here for a minute. And now we're going to saute the onions and the pepper. So I lit it back up again. And I'm going to put my onions in there. And I'm going to grab my peppers. And we're just going to cook these until they're done. I really like the smell of cooking onions. They're just very fragrant. Okay, so my water for my for my noodles has started boiling. I'm just using elbow macaroni. It calls for a whole pound. I'm only doing a half a pound because I'm cutting the recipe in half. And I'm going to cook it per the directions. So I'm going to cook it for about 7 minutes. So let me set the timer. Okay, it looks like it's cooked. So I'm going to add the meat back in. Okay, and then at this point, we're going to add in Velveeta cheese. Now, when I went to the store to buy Velveeta, they had humongous blocks, and that was it. So I did the slices. But you know what? It all melts the same, so at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. So, and the recipe calls for 8 ounce, or no, I don't remember what it calls for. Oh, yes, 8 ounces. Sorry. You're not going to melt the cheese all the way at this point because it will continue to melt once it's in the oven. But I am going to stir it. Then I'm going to turn it off. Try to get it incorporated just a bit more. Okay, then we're going to pour this back into the bowl. I'm going to switch spoons. And my noodles are almost done. Okay, so we're going to head back over to the other side of the kitchen. So I'll bring you with me. Okay, so we're going to spray the casserole dish with some cooking spray. And then we're going to grab our noodles. We're going to dump them in. And we're going to mix everything up. And I'm preheating my oven to 350. And guys, this smells delicious. All right, so now I'm just going to pour this into the casserole dish. I'm going to spread it out a little bit. And then this is only going to cook for about 20 minutes. All right, so this is what it looks like. So I'm going to get it in the oven once my oven is preheated, and I'll bring you back when it's done. Okay, so this just came out of the oven. I cooked it for 20 minutes. You could probably add some more cheese on top if you wanted to at this point. It is pretty cheesy. The slices melted up wonderful, so you could use, in my opinion, you can use slices or the block. It's completely up to you. But it looks wonderful, and I can't wait to dig into it. Because if how it smells is any indication on how it's going to taste, it's going to be delicious. Like I said, I've never made this before. This is my first time, but it sounded wonderful, so I thought, why not give it a try? Okay, so I just want to thank you for coming along with me on this journey, and I hope that you're having an amazing day. And, you know, I'm pretty sure you could probably do this whole casserole almost early in the day, wrap it up, and put it in the refrigerator, and then cook it later on. You could probably also do it up ahead of time and put it in the freezer and pull it out when you're ready to eat it and just warm it up. So it's pretty simple. So just do whatever you want to do. All right. So I hope that once again that you're having an amazing day, and hit that like, hit that share, and hit the subscribe button, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.